family-friendly channel, guys. Can't really believe it's taken me this long to do a reaction video to Joey Jordison, given that he is probably the biggest inspiration behind me wanting to learn the drums in the first place. But the mind works in mysterious ways. Although saying that, to be honest, when I started doing these videos, I wanted it to be more based around the YouTube community of drummers. So with that in mind, actually, if you know any up-and-coming drummers who post covers or videos on YouTube and they want a bit of recognition, then by all means, leave it in the comments down below. Yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Today, we're taking a look at Joey Jordison, formerly of the band Slipknot, currently of the band Vimic. I'm not sure about that, don't quote me. But anyway, this is a live performance of the song People Equal Something, live in London in 2002. Some say the golden age of Slipknot, and I would be inclined to agree with them, to be honest, although the new album is fantastic. But anyway, I'm rambling again. Let's just get on with it. I'm not going to talk too much about Joey's techniques, really, because Slipknot, for the most part, is just fast, single-stroke stuff. It's just well orchestrated, and it sounds cool along with the riffs. I think that's where most of Joey's fandom comes from. It's just the fact that he was really fast and really hard hitting. But we will talk about things like his posture, his setup, and the way that he uses his body to play, because he's quite an interesting drummer in that respect. So yeah, let's go. Sorry about the long rambling intro. I don't know what came over me. It's been a while since I've made one of these and I'm still rambling. Right, just begin. I don't know what that intro was. Okay, so we got past the intro. I'm not going to pause it too much. It's a pretty short video, but let's talk about, this is a kind of alright angle. I might fast forward. I might just let it run until we get a better angle for what I want to talk about. So actually, we'll pause again in a second. I want that left side angle, if I can get it. Okay, fine, whatever. This will do. So Joey's kit is very high up. He's quite short, I think. I think he's like kind of similar to me, so like 5'7", 5'8". And he's not the tallest guy in the world. And generally speaking, us shorter guys will have lower down kits because we are lower down. But Joey is the exact opposite. So you can kind of see, I think he's mid-stroke here, so it's not perfect representation. But his right leg, you can see the snare rises at least an inch or two. Sorry, I don't know what the conversion in, whatever metric, imperial, I'm not sure, not my strong subject. Anyway, yeah, you can see the snare is quite high compared to where his right leg is. And then the toms, like over half of the tom is then higher up than the snare. So the kit is really high up, the crashes are really high up, everything is up. And that creates an issue, I would say, with your shoulders, because you're going to be playing for most of the time, your arms, especially when he's hitting that crash. You saw it from the other angle a minute ago, which is why I wanted it to change. But when he's hitting the crash, his hand is like higher than his head almost, or it might be in line. But that's crazy. To me, I can just imagine the shoulder pain. To him, that's just his technique and it works. But yeah, that's one thing to note. I wouldn't necessarily recommend copying this unless, you live and die by Joey Jordison era Slipknot and you don't want to do anything unless it's Joey Jordison related. Personally, I wouldn't have my kit up that high. I think it's just going to cause you some pain going forward. I guess it's a good way of making sure that your back is straight. But yeah, in terms of like the shoulder issue, I can imagine that getting quite tiresome after a while. But hey, if it's good enough for Joey, who am I to criticize? I'm just saying personally, I wouldn't recommend it. And I'm not sure many drummers would, to be honest. I'm trying to think of any other like professional drummers who have like really high up drum kits. And it's only really, I would guess, like the speed metal guys. because they have so many like toms and stuff, they need to have it high out of necessity. That was a good sentence, wasn't it? But yeah, other than that, like professional drummers wise, most of the fusion players will have quite low, not very angular kits. And I think more than anything, that's just for comfort reasons. Yeah, Joey just has everything really high up. He plays a lot from his arms and his elbow. Doesn't really play too much from his wrist, but I think that's just because you can get more power out of your elbow and your shoulders than you can from your wrist. Yeah, let's keep going. You see it there. All the movements coming from his elbow and his shoulders, and his hand. Yeah, it's like in line with his head. Sorry about the audio being a bit choppy. That's not me. That's this video. Family-friendly channel, guys. So here we come to the like solo-ish section. It's kind of like the bridge out of the second chorus. Is it the first chorus? Anyway, yeah, this solo section that is sort of well known, I guess, sounds way more difficult than it actually is. And I don't mean that in an insulting way towards Joey or the writing of the song or whatever. I mean that in an encouraging way for you watching this, or if you know this song and it's a song that you think, oh, I'd love to be able to play that one day, but the solo scares you or whatever. It's really not that difficult. It's just a combination of either right left kick kick or right left kick kick. I think it's either 2 strokes or 4 strokes. I don't think there's ever any 6 strokes on the hand. But yeah, you can practice that pattern at an extremely slow tempo, like I don't know, 80 BPM or something, and then gradually rise it up. All you need to do, right left kick kick, but probably use right left on the kick if you've got double pedal, or in Joey's case 2 kick drums. Just right left, 2 on the hands, 2 on the feet, 4 on the hands, 2 on the feet. Combinations of that, just do that in a cycle. Eventually you'll build up the speed and you'll build up the power, and you'll be able to do this solo, because that's all it is. There's a couple of linear, like right hand, left hand at the same time, China and Crash with snare stuff, but again, that is, the gaps are filled in with just 2 on the feet. We'll watch it now and you'll see what I mean. So if this solo-ish, you could call it a solo, has ever frightened you, then it's not as scary as you'd think, and we will see now. See what I mean? It's doable. You can do it. Hammer blast. He has that ride so tight it barely moves. Sorry for Corey's language, kids. I think that we'll go back and watch that. I think that was double strokes. Classic era masks. Oh, this guy's got a scary channel icon. Look at that. Dead. Alright, let's go back. I want to see if the build up on the snare, the roll, if it was double strokes. Perfect timing, look at that. I think it is. Let's slow it down. And, oh no, that's not the one we want. Right, playback speed. Let's go to half speed. And we rewind, that's easy for me to say, a couple of seconds. And let's watch it again. It's not the best footage, so we might not be able to get a conclusive answer from this. But slowing it down will give us a good idea of what he's actually doing when he builds up the speed. I think he is. PayPal. I think that is double strokes, which actually goes against everything I said earlier about Joey's drumming being single strokes the whole time, because maybe it's not. I just want to go back to the solo, something that I didn't mention. So the beauty, if you like, or the skill, the kind of wow factor of that solo section comes from the orchestration. So if you've ever listened to that portion of this, I'm going to stop calling it a solo. If you've ever listened to that part of the song and thought, I'll never be able to do something like that, honestly, you can. It's just well orchestrated. You know, he alternates between linear stuff, and then he goes into, you know, rolls around the toms and the snare and what have you. But it's not the most complicated thing in the world. Yes, you might need to listen to it a few times, and it would maybe help having a transcribed version if you read music. But yeah, it's really, and this song actually is not that difficult to play. It's just fast. It's just fast. I don't think any of the fill-ins repeat as well. So actually learning the song, you know, by the book would be fairly difficult because you just have to remember everything. But then again, it's only a 3.5 minute song. So if you're up for a challenge, a fast challenge, then yeah, I think the first two Slipknot albums actually have got some really interesting drum parts on them throughout. Joey was definitely a very creative writer, and I think, you know, he's revered and everyone loves him, I think, for all the right reasons. I'm not part of this camp who thinks that Joey is a massively overrated drummer. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's heralded in the respect that he deserves. Fight amongst yourselves in the comments. I know there's some people, it's very much a tribal thing when it comes to Joey Jordison. Some people think he's the best drummer ever. Some people think he's people equals, you know, that. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there because I kind of want to record another video, and I can already feel my throat getting a little bit so but don't worry, it's got nothing to do with you know, that horrible virus, thankfully, touch wood. That took a weird little tangent at the end, didn't it? Thanks very much for watching. As I said at the start, if you've got any recommendations, if it's you, your friend, your favourite drummer, it doesn't have to be a bedroom fantasy if you like, it can just be a famous drummer who I haven't covered yet and you'd like me to check them out, then go ahead and leave it in the description. No, leave it in the comment section and I will get around to it eventually. I feel like it wouldn't be an MDN drums video if I didn't mess up the ending or ramble. I always ramble. Anyway, that's enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support recently. 7,000 subscribers, mind-blowing. I will see you next time.